Hey guys, I thought I'd share this because I know a lot of the people in one of the groups I'm in are wanting to share their experiences, start doing video journaling, doing other things, but they're not necessarily used to doing those things technology-wise. So I thought I'd share what I'm doing, what I've learned over the last half a year now on doing videos, what is successful, what's been challenging, what kind of equipment, how to make things simple and easy. Because when it's simple and easy, you'll actually do it, versus you have to do this, then you have to download to the computer, then you have to edit it, then you have to do all these things to it, and then you have to send it out. Now, if you're excited about that, go for it. But this is super simple things. And it's going to depend on, you'll need a smartphone. This is an iPhone. It's an older iPhone, but it still works fine. You don't need an iPhone. I'm actually recording on an Android right now. The main difference I found between my iPhone and the Android phone that I use is that with the Android, because it's of its age, I actually need to have an external microphone for it, which I will show you. I am using the shotgun mic. This is mid-range. I think I paid like $80 for it. And you don't even need a shotgun mic like I do, or I have. The reason I wanted a shotgun mic was because I wanted to be able to do things further away, closer up. And yes, I'm in my pajama bottoms. I outed myself there. But you can use a lapel mic. That's what I started with my Android phone. It's just the quality of the audio wasn't good enough for me to use it with the built-in microphone on the phone. Now, iPhones tend to have better quality microphones built in, so you don't necessarily need an external mic if you're using an iPhone. Now, stands. The one I'm recording with right now is actually on a selfie stick. I do have a fancier setup with a proper stable tripod. This is a little wobbly. You probably noticed when I moved the mic that the phone was wobbling. When you're inside in a semi-controlled environment, something like this can work fine, but you don't need a phone holder necessarily. This one is a case that props up, so you can put it on a surface, make sure you're in line. I use the front camera function because when I do that, I actually get to see what I'm recording. So as I'm talking to the camera, to the phone, I see myself. I found I had to do that because if I was trying to do the back and trying to line up, I'm doing this myself, so I don't have anybody to tell me you're out of screen, the light's in people's eyes, or it's up, it's down. Like, it can be tricky. I mean, you can put a mirror behind it if you really want to get the quality of the back of the phone cameras, because they do tend to be higher quality than the front. But this works for me. I'm not as concerned with the quality of the video as I am with the sound. One of the advices I got when I first started was that it's more important to have good sound quality than it is to have good visual quality. I mean, you ideally want both, but people are more likely to listen to something, especially if it's talking like this, where it's information being shared or music, versus watching something and having bad sound. If you can't hear, it makes it very frustrating and you're more likely to click off the video. So this is why I bought the more expensive microphone because I did want to make sure I have quality sound. And I didn't buy this right away. Like the lapel microphone my partner had. You might have a headset with a microphone. Someone may be throwing something out that they have or don't need it anymore. Like, don't go out and buy stuff. Look around, talk to your friends and family, see if someone already has something first. Because you might find you hate this and don't want to do this. So why invest money into it when you're already investing your time if you don't have to? And then if you do find you love doing it, look at some reviews on microphones. I know there's tons out there. There's so much different variety. Brand names doesn't necessarily mean the best quality anymore. It all depends on what you're looking for. If you're doing studio quality recordings, you do want to go with something that's more brand name-ish. You know, you pay more for certain qualities. But for YouTube, something like this stuff, it's not the end of the world to have lower quality items. Most things are made in China nowadays, so it doesn't matter whether you buy it from a fancy photography store or you pick it up online cheap. It's very likely made in the same factory. Now, there are certain things that are going to be different in quality, but you do sometimes get what you pay for. Just be aware that just because you're paying more doesn't mean necessarily that you will get better quality. That's not, sadly, how it works anymore. But that's why going to a physical store where you get to handle things might be easier for you than ordering something online. But yeah, that's the basics for camera audios. Like I said, you don't need a stand. You can prop it up something. The one thing you do want to avoid is this. You don't want to talk and hold your phone because it doesn't matter how steady you try to be, you're going to shake. I have done this where I sat down, put my phone on my knees so that I'm steadying. Actually, usually I went this way because it allows me to steady it more, and then shoot the video that way. Now, that did have a little bit of wobble, and it would be better to actually put it on a surface, on a table, on a cabinet, something that you can talk to the video, have it in front of you, and it's not moving, it's on a stable surface. Now, I've had things happen where, you know, the phone seemed to be stable, and then gravity happened and it just like slipped down and fell flat. So it does happen. This is why, you know, having a phone holder can be more beneficial in that regard, but there's lots of options. You don't need anything fancy unless you really want it. Now, with lighting, because that seems challenging for people, and I did this one on purpose. So there's a light right behind me. Yes, it does look a little bit like a halo. Wasn't intended that way. But the general rule for lighting is you want 2 lights for your basic lighting, 3 lights if you want to be fancy. So this is the fancy light. It gives me a backlit look. It defines my body against the background. So that's more for definition. You want 2 lights in front of you, one off to one side, and then a side light coming in. Now, I'm using an overhead lamp, and I'm using a window to my left. And that's where I'm getting the light from. Now, if I wanted to, like, you can probably see there's more shadow here. If I wanted to light that up, I could add another light over here. Some phone holders come with lights. I actually have one on the selfie stick that I have, But I personally don't like them as much because they're right beside the phone, and as I'm looking at the phone, I'm looking at the lights, and I find that very blinding. I don't enjoy that. I actually prefer having lights further away so I'm not looking at them directly. But play with that, figure it out. If you watch some videos, you see people in cars and they seem to actually be well lit. It's because there's so many windows. And the light's coming in from the different angles, so it's like evening out the shadows. That's basically what you're doing with light. So something to play with. Like I said, 2 lights. One maybe overhead to the side, or 2 from the sides. If you want to go a little more fancier, you can do a cool light, and you can do a more yellow light that evens out skin tones, but you don't really need to unless you're actually like going for perfect looks on your skin. But you know, we love you all anyway. You're all great. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, you know, put them in the comments. I'll try and answer as best I can. And enjoy video journaling and sharing. Love y'all. Bye for now.